Hello everyone. I'm going to start with a hypothetical for you. Say you're in a discussion with someone who is a feminist and they're going on about the usual talking points, weasel words, buzzwords, etc. And then you say, but what about these people, these stupid Tumblr feminists and Elite Sarkeesian and all the other feminists that are crazy and man haters, etc., etc. And they say, but they're not true feminists. But then they're wrong, because that's the no true Scotsman fallacy, isn't it? And so today's video, I'm going to just have a quick talk about what is a true feminist. So this person is, I'd wager, is a sane person, but she considers herself a feminist. I reckon she's one of those who doesn't understand why 80% of the Western world, or at least 80% of America, and maybe Britain, I'm not sure what it is over here, are not feminists. Let's stick with America, I'd say. Let's not generalise too much. So 80% of America are not feminists, and they wonder why. They scratch their heads, and they say one issue is because the crazy man haters and Tumblr feminists. Yeah, she says they're not true feminists. So what makes them not true feminists? They believe in smashing the patriarchy. This woman also believes in smashing the patriarchy. They believe women should have equal rights with men. She also believes in equal rights with men, although the more on the scale of crazy you go, the farther that seems to be different, because as we know, when it comes to Tumblr, they actually want more. Even though women do have more, they want even more rights than they currently have. And then they also want to change the definition of rape, consent, etc., etc. I mean, let's take, for example, Valerie Solanas, for example. She wrote the S.C.U.M manifesto, for those of you who don't know, and she shot Andy Warhol and a friend of his because apparently she had to. And that's what I'm paraphrasing. So she wrote an anti-male manifesto which was supposed to be satirical, yet next thing you know she's shooting someone because he's a man. Gets done for felonious assault, by the way, not attempted murder, as we know what it should have been. But I digress. So she writes this manifesto, and then talks about killing all men because we're apparently the ones who've caused the most trouble and evil in the world, and that we're degenerate, that we're a mistake, a biological mistake, that the Y chromosome is deficient, that we're emotionally unstable, I'd say. I can't quite remember the exact wording that she said. Yeah. Apparently, she's not a true feminist, according to these people, even though she's always quoted by a lot of feminists. I mean, just now I've watched a Thorium video, and there's this book come out called Dietland, which is meant to be the feminist equivalent of Fight Club. So basically, she's saying this is like S.C.U.M manifesto and Fight Club mixed with a pop music beat. You can't get more cliched than that. It's like, it's a shit review and a shit book when they're comparing it to pop music, basically. Books can't have beats. Maybe that's just my Aspie fucking mind working there, but that metaphor has never worked for me. So anyway, how come they use the S.C.U.M manifesto as a positive comment when really, when you read the S.C.U.M manifesto, it's anything but. So, what makes her not a true feminist? She wants to better women. She's a second waver. She was fighting for all these rights while also at the same time, trying to destroy men's rights, and in the process, us in general, What makes her not a true feminist? What makes Mao and Lenin not true communists? What makes the Soviet Union? Because you always say this from communists too, like, they're not true communist states. Well, why? They all believe in the founding principles of Marxism and communism, even though Mao used the peasantry and not the working class. How is that any different to what Lenin did? Just wondering. You see what I mean? The no true Scotsman fallacies banded around in an attempt to try and make everyone else in the movement not look as bad as them, when really, they are true feminists, because they wholeheartedly agree with the doctrine. They take it to extremes. They are taking it literally. It's kind of like, ISIS and Islam, like, you'll see a lot of moderates say that they're not true Muslims. Well, they are. You cherry pick and take what you want from the Quran, or if you're a Christian, you take it out from the Bible. Yet these people will follow a lot of it to the T, if not all of it. They'll believe, they will follow it, which is what ISIS is, isn't it? The Islamic State. It's just the Quran followed to a T. So, are people from Tumblr who are feminists true feminists? Yes, of course they are, because these people are actually taking it very literally. They are not cherry picking. What makes the likes of Christian Hoff-Sommers also not true feminists? Like, you'll see a lot of people say that they're not true feminists because they're conservative, when really she's a Democrat. Now, I know this is rambling on a bit. The more I think about it, the more people have already said this, but what are your thoughts? I think I'll end it here. I don't want to waste your time. What makes a true feminist? What isn't a true feminist? Do you think it's just a no true Scotsman fallacy? I think it's a case of that. I think all these people are feminists. They're just on a different scale, and to say that they're not is just trying to deflect the argument. To try and say, oh, we don't have problems. These people aren't feminists. When you do have a problem, which is, funnily enough, this religious analogy is quite accurate, considering that feminism is now pretty much a religion nowadays. You know, faitheists. That's what we like to call them over here on this channel. So anyway, what are your thoughts and views? This has been ChammerMan93. Like and share the video. Drop a comment. That's always welcome. Subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you later.